In a world crying out for a top 10 show, John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Topic Thunder.
You're not on. Now you're on the screen. There we go. As soon as you started, I guess you clicked the button to go live.
Oh, okay.
Record or whatever it was.
All right.
My system went silent in essence.
All right.
Thunder.
You want to start it over? Let's just start it over.
Fuck it. Let's just go forward.
Okay. All right. There it is. All right. Well, there you go. A little behind the scenes curtain of us doing Topic Thunder. Yeah, I'm a little rusty this morning. It's a Saturday. I'm not used to doing the show on a Saturday, so I apologize if I went a little early, but we got there. You guys know what this is. Topic Thunder. We take questions from you, the patrons, about any topics you want to talk about, and then Matt and I get into it. Matt, anything you want to add before we start?
No, I say we just jump right in because we're going to kibitz while we do this anyway. So.
Sounds good.
All right. So the first question, or topic rather, comes from Chris Lemke. And it's been listening for years and years, and you guys have had some silly arguments and some serious ones. I think is the most contentious topic.
Ooh.
And then was there ever a moment you had to stop recording, or it just stuck with you afterwards?
No, I don't think we've ever stopped recording in the middle of a show over any kind of anger or topic. And Matt's a pretty chill guy. I'm the passionate one. So, but like Matt takes that moment to when I'm upset about something or I'm like kind of in a different point of view than Matt, he'll kind of receive it for a second and then respond. So, but we've never had a point where we're like blowing up at each other during a show or anything like that. And I don't know if there's necessarily been a contentious topic. Am I misremembering, Matt?
I mean, topic, no, arguments within.
Yes.
For sure. Like when we did American War over a Collider, I'm thankful we had other people in the room just to end the show because I wouldn't have agreed with you. That's one of the few times where
I remember that. Yeah.
We have no coin at this point. So how are we going to decide this? Do we have no means?
Yeah.
So that one I think could have, I mean, had that been audio only, that would have dragged on for a while.
Oh yeah. I think that was the first one ever, and maybe the only one since that's ever threatened to make the show like be unending because neither Matt and I was going to give in. Maybe at some point we'd have figured something out because I know we've gone so far as to flip a driver's license to settle an argument on the show. So I'm sure we would have figured something out because neither one of us wants to be doing a 7-hour show. We've got lives to live in that way. But yeah, we've had some battles. But I think what's fun is the battles about how we feel passionately about movies. But at the end of the day, both of us understand these are just movies we're talking about. Yeah. It's not, it's not curing cancer or anything. We're just having fun talking about movies. So to have it carry or linger over, that's rarely happens within the context of the actual topic on the show.
Yeah. As it should. I think we both agree with that. There are, I'm sure, some people out there listening that don't agree, that just like, no, my opinion on this is concrete, and be like, so be it.
Yeah.
You can have your opinion. We're not, each their own. I'm not going to tell you how to lead your life, but
exactly.
At the same time, it's like there are bigger fish to fry in this world.
Yeah.
Well, this is my number 7. Like, I don't give a flying fuck.
But it's fun. It's fun when we're contending, though. I mean, like when something like the flipping of the coin and we're giving each other shit about the weight of the coin or whatever, like that's just fun part of the show, And at the end of the day, Matt and I always want to find a way to have a final 10 by the end of the show for your entertainment and for ours. So yeah, it's rare when we get contentious within the context of the show. We've had our differences outside of the show about the direction of the show, the construct of the show, the format of the show, what we want to do with the show, things of that nature. But that's to be expected for any duo putting something together, especially as headstrong as Matt and I are about what we think works and doesn't work. So, but we always seem to hammer it out eventually.
But as far as the show itself, like, I hate to be disappointing, Chris.
Yeah.
Nothing of merit or note that I can recall
Yeah.
But we're also both old, so we very well could be forgetting.
That's a very good point. All right, let's move on to David Mitchell Baker. Thank you, Chris, for that question. He goes, "Hi, John and Matt. Hope you gentlemen are both doing well and that the social distancing / quarantine life hasn't been too difficult for either of you so far. Given that the show is coming up on its 5-year anniversary, holy Mary Mother of God, for real, wow. I was wondering what has been the best or most fun aspect of doing the Top 10 show over the years, and if you have any particular hopes or goals for the show moving forward." I'll stop there and I'll read the rest after we answer that. Okay. Well, what do you answer on that one, Matt?
Well, the most fun, doing the live shows is awesome.
Yeah.
I look back with great fondness interacting with Cody and Adam for that short duration.
Oh, yeah.
I do miss that. It was fun to have just more energy of two, solid citizens in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Like various, anything, in particular stick out for you?
Well, I mean, obviously the inherent understanding is that we both enjoy doing the show. We wouldn't keep doing it. That's for damn sure. But the most enjoyable aspects, I agree with Matt. The live shows are irreplaceable in my mind as some of the favorite moments ever in the history of the show. Certainly the London live show, I think, stands out above them all because we went international and we had no idea what the response was going to be. We were hoping that we would sell out. And when we did, or came very, very close to it.
No, we sold it out.
We sold out. Then having so many different countries flying in to see us was really humbling and mind-blowing. Two idiots like us talking about movies could engender so many people to spend their hard-earned money to come see us was truly a humbling moment overall. And we were so looking forward to returning back this year again before all of this hit. For sure. But yeah, the live shows are the things that I really enjoy the most. Chicago was a blast for so many different reasons as well. Mm-hmm. And LA was a lot of fun as a first foray into doing a live event. But yeah, talking with the fans also is another huge part of it that I enjoy a lot about the show.
Without it does suck. Houston, we had to cancel.
Yeah.
Basically for financial reasons on their end. There's a lot of gouging for two assholes talking, And we know it's entertaining. We've done it for large crowds. It's fine. I'm not rating what we do. But when it's already X and it's costing us Y to get the place, and then all of a sudden there's a Z on the people, and you're like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
To have that canceled, but then starting to gear up and look for it. I mean, by the time when they hear this next week, it's like 2 weeks away from the show.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, absolutely.
We should be gearing up, and we just got our work visas, and and then here's when I fly out, and blah 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 blah. Worrying about all those things,
hammering out the final topic, things of that nature. Yeah, we'd be doing
all the lead up to that, and instead it's just like everybody else, it's stuck inside. Man, that fucking rain, man.
Oof.
It's nice.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so little.
Mm-hmm.
But when you can't you've done everything you can do by and large already, and you're like, now it's day 4. I can't do anything. Like I am yesterday, once it finally broke, in essence, I did all kinds. I took a table up and down the stairs. I cleaned up down around the downstairs apartments. So let me do this outside, and I'll go do this outside. I will get the fuck out of this damn place. Sunshine today. It sucks. We have to record right now. It's gorgeous out.
I know.
Right now.
I know. Lindley came up to me. She's like, "Do you really have to record today? We could go take a nice 3-hour walk." And I'm like, I know. I'm sorry. We scheduled it for today. That's what we're doing. Who knew it was going to break? The sun was going to break the way it did. But I love the rain, and I didn't go stir crazy with it because we went out at night a couple times to take walks. When the rain had kind of broken for the night, we snuck in an hour-long walk around LACMA and around where else we up in Beverly Hills, like walking all the way out into the main kind of Rodeo Drive type area. So we've done little things like that to kind of keep us from going too crazy. But I have enough to distract me in this house. And I just got my bike fixed, so I'll be taking rides in the morning to kind of just keep my head clear and things of that nature. So that's going to be fun to do as well. So little things like that will keep me from going insane. I have a higher tolerance for being at home than I think maybe most people who aren't introverts. But I do need to go out every once in a while or once a day just to do something. Even if it's driving to go get some fucking Chipotle, it's at least breaking the monotony of being in the actual apartment or the place, so to speak. So, yeah.
Dude, I had to go out at one point, like when the rains came down heavy. What was it, 2 nights ago?
Yeah.
And so we're having a drainage issue, and I had to go out in the pouring rain and lay some tarps just to like basically, it's not a problem right now, but it could lead to a problem.
Right.
Like, tarp down, then it reduces that, and then I'll fix it once.
Right.
Once it's all happened, but it just coming down so hard. Like, I have no choice but to be out here right now. Shoes are completely soaked through because we're working on a hill gradient, and every once again I move. And like once I stepped on the tarp to try and flatten it out, and this big puddle that had formed just comes running down and goes obviously straight to my foot because that's the point that's pulling it down.
Right.
The point is like, I don't even care. So I'm out to do things begrudgingly and at certain points, but yeah, just to get out of the house at least once a day.
Yeah. I think it's helpful. And they do say that with the, all the rules and the quarantines and all that you can go out of the house, take a walk, just practice social distancing. Yeah. And there you go. David Mitchell Baker ends this email by saying, thanks as always for your time. Sucks that the London show had to be canceled, but I totally understand given the circumstances. I look forward to seeing you guys back on our shores in the future once this is all hopefully passed and traveling and gathering is allowed once again. Thanks for all the content you've been putting out. It's the perfect escape from all the uncertainty going on in the world. From David Mitchell Baker. Very kind of him.
Very, very kind of him. Thank you, David. We will work on coming back. Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. The next one is from Charles Clark. And he says, hey, John and Matt, as always, hope you guys are doing well. I don't know about you guys, but not having live sports is driving me stir crazy. So maybe hearing you guys talk about it will help me get through it. Number one, if you could give one team a championship this next season, which team would it be? And if it's soccer, they can only get one championship, not and for college, you have to specify the sport. So that's number one. You just want to digest these.
Yeah, sure.
What team would you give a championship this next season?
Look, there's no question for me. It's Liverpool because if they're going to cancel the season or void the season, they won't get the title anyway. And even if they do give them the title, other fans from other teams are going to go, it's an asterisk title. There's no way that it's the same thing, even though they were 6 points away and 25 points ahead from the nearest team, and it would have taken a phenomenal miracle like losing 9 straight games while the other team wins 9 straight games for us to lose the title. But that being said, that wouldn't stop the fans from needling the Liverpool fans for that title. So just like they do with the Redskins when they won that first championship or Super Bowl in the middle of a strike shortened season, having only played 8 games. It was a little bit of a hassle to be a Redskins fan at the time and when we won. So that's what I would do for Liverpool. Absolutely the Premier League title. Don't need the Champions League, won that thing 6 times. Need the Premier League title once and for all next season to win the whole thing outright would be great. What about you?
That's it. So for college, under that logic, you could say Kansas because they were the presumptive number one in basketball on every poll. But that one would be, it's one of those you look back and be like, oh, yeah, that was the year they didn't have the tournament.
Right.
So that'll have its own little asterisk, but there is no champion this year. I would go back and take away the Astros, was it 2017 title?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
To give, though, to somebody. So none of my teams have any shot.
I don't know. Nick Foles could be your savior, man.
Okay. Bullshit. So I'd want to pick somebody that I think is deserving. It's like, shit, I really would like to see that individual get a chip.
Yeah.
Before they leave whatever sport. Trying to think of who in basketball do I want to see win outside of
the Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls. I wouldn't mind seeing Giannis and the Bucks win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to see if Kawhi and the Clippers could have done it.
Yeah, yeah. Hell,
They were rounding in shape. Go ahead.
I would have liked to have seen Toronto, bro, just to see what they would do if they actually made it all the way without Kawhi. To win it without Kawhi would have been an incredible story for Toronto. Just incredible.
I know, and hopefully my opinion then, I will, unlike Stephen A. or anybody else, I'll acknowledge it, the fact that I don't think they can win a championship with this team, even though this team is flat out amazing.
Yeah.
But the playoffs are a different animal now. Pascal, you need to basically beat the other team 4 games out of 5 because that's what you need, a alpha. You need it in the playoffs. Until that is proven wrong, I will continue to believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Team ball, the closest would be the Warriors, but dude, Steph Curry is Pantheon shooter. Klay Thompson is Pantheon shooter. Draymond is the perfect defender for that system. At least he was. It's, next year going forward, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of things fell into place. So they're way beyond team, but
okay.
The Toronto bring up anyway. Okay. All right, next one. If you give any current player a championship this coming season, who would it be?
Ooh, any current player? I guess I'd give Drew Brees a Super Bowl. I mean, one last Super Bowl before he rides off into the sunset. I thought it was bullshit that they took Aaron Rodgers over Drew Brees in the all-decade NFL team. I think Drew Brees has better stats and is a better leader of men than Aaron Rodgers, and I would have trusted him to be the second behind Brady. So to me, that was ridiculous. So for me, I go towards Brees because I think Brees deserves that title as a man who's about to retire. I mean, NBC already announced that they're going to sign him to be an analyst once his career's over. So why not win one last Super Bowl like Peyton Manning and ride off into the sunset, man?
It's a good call. What about Phil Rivers?
No, because Phil Rivers is an impertinent bastard, and sometimes I just don't like him. I mean, and it's ironic because Lord knows I've had my, like blow-ups in the Schmoedown and things of that nature, but I just think he's kind of a jerk, and I don't necessarily would want to see him win a title because he doesn't, like, Breeze doesn't trash talk. And, it's ironic. I do respect the guys who don't trash talk more because I think it takes more restraint to not trash talk, and it speaks volumes about their character. So I kind of side with those guys more than guys like Phillip Rivers. That being said, if Phillip Rivers was my quarterback, I'd defend him to the end of time because he is a warrior, he's a fighter. But I just think
that was out
more. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Breeze has the more of the highlights, like a cannon. So he's got more of those, and I think Rivers didn't have. It was overshadowed a little bit because he was in San Diego.
Right.
San Diego is a relevant team. I think as borne out by the fact that team is now left because there wasn't enough, of a fan base then to sustain building another stadium.
Yeah.
Be taxed for it, which I understand.
Right.
At the same time, they're one of the few cities where I think that is a public good in that the Super Bowl will be there. It was there 2 or maybe 3 times while I lived in San Diego. 2 for sure.
Right.
It was a huge, like, all of a sudden, boom, Super Bowl's here and there's fireworks displays everywhere and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. All the potential chance of like national championships or do what LA did and have one that can be covered and whatnot. And you could have fights and you could have NCAA tournaments. Who doesn't love going to San Diego?
Yeah, it's true. Good point.
But I always liked Phil Rivers. I lived down there for a time, watched him play, met him once. Nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
For 2 seconds. It's not like we've sat down and talked or anything, but I met him, met LT. He came out to the concert.
Lawrence Taylor or LaDainian Tomlinson?
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Okay.
San Diego's LT.
Right, fair enough.
By LT. Shorter than you think.
Yeah. Look, I don't think he's that tall. I watch him on NFL Network. His feet sometimes drag along the tips of his shoes drag along the bottom of the floor. So you're like, he's not that tall.
No, he's not. I would say, if memory serves, 5'8", 5'9".
Yeah, just a little bit above Sproles.
But anyway, all right, next one. And I believe it's his last, well, technically. Number 3, if you could change the outcome of one game or event in the past 5 years, which would it be?
Oof, that's tough. You got one in your head?
Not because I want a different outcome, but if Kawhi's basketball hadn't bounced in, it would have been strong enough to beat the Warriors with the Warriors' looming injuries.
Yeah.
Because I want to know if whether or not basically whoever came out of the East was winning that year, because it seems like ultimately that was what was going to happen.
Yeah. Do you think that because Toronto initially people were like, oh, there were injuries for the Warriors, but overall people were just surprised that an underdog like Toronto, and they were kind of an underdog because they underperformed in the playoffs. Yes, they had Kawhi, but that might not have been enough possibly in the playoffs. Do you think if the Sixers had done it and rolled into the playoffs and beat Toronto the way and on that seventh game and then went in and beat the Warriors, there'd be more of an asterisk on it. There'd be people giving them more shit because they're younger players and it was expected of them, but they didn't really face a team that's full strength? Or do you think it would have been the same kind of vibe that Toronto had because they're a young team?
That's interesting because Philly then would be anointed with Embiid and Simmons. It's like this next young group. So the narrative would have been different as opposed to plucky Toronto superstar.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I don't want to denigrate Toronto. Like once Van Vliet had his kid, all of a sudden he is a murderer from 3-point. And Pascal showing flashes of what he's done consistently, by and large this season.
Right.
So they had guys step up. It is a completely different narrative. Is there a specific game though you wanted to?
It's tough because naturally my mind goes to a championship game, right? Because that's naturally what would matter necessarily. There's nothing in the Redskins. I mean, if there's a Liverpool situation, maybe they beat Man City last year instead of losing 2-1, and then we win the title. Maybe that would have been a game for me. There's nothing in the Wizards or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm hesitate to say the LeBron beating the Warriors one more time because him beating them from 3-1, I don't think it mattered at all. Whatever he did in the other finals, coming back from 3-1 is an incredible achievement that will probably rarely be seen again in the finals. So I don't know if I would change that necessarily. Maybe Atlanta beating the Patriots. I think that would have been incredible to see if the Falcons hold on to that lead and kind of crush the Patriots once and for all. Because one of the things that's interesting about the Patriots is this is not a team that goes into the Super Bowl and destroys other teams. This is a team that squeaks by and wins these games. So they definitely get the best punches from the team they're playing. Philly took them to the end. Even Carolina with Jake Delhomme took them to the end. The Rams game was a 1-pointer with that field goal. So the Patriots have never really comfortably won a Super Bowl, although the Rams one was a tighter game. They were never not in control of that game. So to me, that was the closest I'd ever seen them dominate a team in a Super Bowl. That being said, I think the Atlanta one is, because I think the Seattle one is the one I'd really choose. And I don't think that was in the last 5 years. And if it was, that is my choice. If not, certainly the Atlanta one, because just to see them get crushed once and for all by a team would have been a great, whoa, maybe they weren't as great as we thought they were because they could show up at the big stage like this and get destroyed like this. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's maybe the only thing.
But I think even then, had they basically the next few years been the exact same, I don't think it would besmirch their legacy, just like getting back there.
Yeah, good point.
Now, if it changed the trajectory, because maybe then Tom leaves earlier, like they've lost Mojo, he doesn't have the weapons, and Garoppolo, and who knows where they'd be at right now.
Right.
But I think it'd be tough to leave Brady at that point unless he wanted to go much like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be weird this year.
Yeah.
Fucking Bucks.
Yeah, but he's got weapons, man. He's got weapons. I think they're going to go 12-4. I think he's got a crap ton of weapons and a good defense.
He does. Yeah. And it's a wise move in a lot of ways. It's just the Bucks. For some reason, the Bucks have always kind of weirded me out. I don't know why. I like the Warren Sapp years, but ultimately, just I don't know. It's the Bucks. They've always been strange to me. And now Tom Brady, the face of the league, is going to be on the Bucks. That's just so foreign and strange. I'm happy for Bucks fans, Cody, and one or two others I know.
Cody's super happy.
How could you not be? You had a guy throw 30 picks last year.
Did you see?
Flirted with keeping him, which I don't blame you.
It's of course not. He threw 30 touchdowns. You still almost made the playoffs. If a couple of games had gone in your direction, you'd have made the playoffs as a wild card. So it's crazy to think about the other point of this thing too is I was reading Jameis's interview. He had a recent interview about Tom Brady after he just got married. Actually, Jameis did during the whole coronavirus epidemic, which of course speaks perfectly about Jameis. But he said that I must be damn good that they needed to go get Tom Brady to replace me. I'm like, brother, that's good spin. That's some good PR spin you just did there, because they couldn't wait to get rid of you. And Tom Brady is just is the trade up, because you're essentially the Tim Tebow now of that situation. They kicked you out quickly to move the older veteran in there to win a championship possibly. So
does he still have it? I mean, you assume so, but
yeah, right.
Question mark. I mean, look at his age.
Yeah.
So your window with him is 2 years max. 2 years max.
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird.
I wonder where Jameis goes too, man, because there's not a lot of openings for starters in the NFL right now.
You got him, you got Cam, you got Andy Dalton. There's a few dudes out there.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, so So his answers for his questions would be: which team would you give a championship? It would be WVU basketball. I love football more, but Bob Huggins deserves one.
That's fair.
I don't know about that. I remember Bob at Cincy.
Yeah, Bob at Cincy. Yeah, it was a little bit of the Patino there. Yeah. I don't disagree with you there.
I don't know. He always struck me as the worst qualities of Patino and Calipari.
Yeah, that's not a bad.
I don't know if that's the case. I haven't followed college basketball in 10 or 15 years, like religiously, like I used to do.
Yeah.
Hit number 2 would be Phil Rivers. Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Who would give his championship to? He's a Colts fan, not just because he's a Colts fan, but because he has the career he needs a ring. Number 3 is 28-3. There you go.
There it is.
Thanks as always for taking the time to answer my question. I'll be happy to send you guys more, and feel free to discuss or let other people have a chance. Your show, your rules. All the best, Chuck Clark. # Let's Go Mountaineers.
That's awesome. I love that.
Keep sending them, Chuck.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, I can't echo what Matt just said enough. All the patrons, send as many topics as you want. Lord knows we'd rather have way more to discuss than way less to discuss. So please.
You think of a question, rifle it off. You already know the email address. Hit us up over there.
Yeah.
And, we'll keep doing it.
All right. We're at 26 minutes. Do you want to jump into one more, or do you want to wrap it here?
Let's go ahead and wrap it here, because 26 minutes is basically what we try and give them each and every week.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for downloading this episode of Topic Thunder. We always appreciate it as the Top 10 show that you all patronize the show and are patrons of the show and support us and all the things we're trying to do with the show. Yeah, we've had to take a little bit of a step back because of 2020 and the coronavirus, everything that's going on there. But trust me, when the gates are open again, we've got plans for doing more and more stuff. So thank you all so much for being a part of the show for almost 5 years, which is kind of mind-blowing to think about. Yeah.
And I think that's it for this week. Stay safe out there. Wash those hands. You can follow me anywhere at Matt Knows. Check out my other podcast, Embrace the Hate. And if you'd like to participate in this show, head over to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10 and join up. But yeah, that's where we store all that stuff. So any information you want for Topic Thunder, hit us up over there. And that is it for me this week.
Absolutely. You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/John Rocha Says. So much content going on there. Just about to add a Star Wars show as well. So thank you all so much for joining us. And we will talk to you next time on Topic Thunder.